Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Colonel Tia E. Henderson, Commander, 369th Recruiting Group, welcome to the 336th Recruiting Squadron Change of Command Ceremony. I am Master Sergeant Vanessa Daniel, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. If you have not been vaccinated, please wear your face mask. Today, Colonel Tia Henderson will preside as Lieutenant Colonel John F. Eck Jr. relinquishes command, and Lieutenant Colonel Aaron L. Eggers assumes command of the 336th Recruiting Squadron. The change of command ceremony you're going to witness today is a military tradition deeply rooted in history and dates back to the time of Roman legions. In that period, military organizations developed flags that were unique to the organization with specialized colors and designs. When the warriors followed their leaders into battle, they kept sight of the flag. If the banner still waved after the conflict, it was a sign that their side had not tasted defeat on the field of battle. Having this position of importance, the flag was incorporated into the change of command ceremony. The organizational banner was exchanged in public for all to see that the one who holds the flag is the unchallenged leader. The modern day ceremony is principally symbolic, yet it still indicates to all the authority of the incoming commander in the finest military traditions. The outgoing commander surrenders the flag and says, "Sir, I relinquish command." The flag is then passed to the new commander who says, "Sir, I assume command." This gesture is accomplished in front of the unit so that everyone can see and witness their new leader assuming their dutiful position. The symbolic tradition has survived through military history and will serve as the key event of this solemn military ceremony. Today, with 8 simple words and the presentation of the flag, command of the 336th Recruiting Squadron will transfer from Lieutenant Colonel Eck to Lieutenant Colonel Eggers. The instant the flag moves from Colonel Henderson to Lieutenant Colonel Eggers, he assumes command of the 336th Recruiting Squadron and all the responsibilities the position entails. At this time, we'd like to recognize some of our guests. It is our pleasure to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Eck's wife, Bonnie. We extend a warm welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Eggers' wife, Becky, their sons, Kanan, Matthew, and Joseph, and their daughter, Grace Ann, his stepfather and mother, Major David Lampron, United States Air Force retired, and Mrs. J.D. Lampron, his father and stepmother, Captain Art Eggers, United States Air Force retired, and his wife, Miss Jeanette Eggers. The consultant, Moody Support Committee, the ever so lovely Dr. Lucy Green. We would also like to welcome all those watching remotely. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Present the colors.
Present.
Thank you, Honor Guard. Chaplain Thompson will now give the invocation.
Would you pray with me? Almighty God, Commander of the universe, we invite your presence as two well-tested leaders change to guide our as commanders. We give you thanks for Lieutenant Colonel John X. unwavering leadership focus that has enabled a sustainable and impressive recruiting squadron serving Moody Air Force Base and surrounding regions. While he commanded the 336 recruiting squadron, he has been faithful to a proud Air Force heritage that leaves a lasting legacy of honor. We thank you for his wonderful wife, Bonnie, children, Natalie, Riley, as they all ensure for us here at Moody and the surrounding regions, fellow commanders, recruiting personnel, and their families. God, we thank you for the care that they ensure. We thank you, gracious God, for also appointing Lieutenant Colonel Aaron Eggers as our new 336 recruiting squadron commander. Guide and strengthen him and his wonderful wife, Becky, children, Canaan, Matthew, Joseph, and Grace Ann, and all of those he leads and works with as he integrates into our Moody family and surrounding Air Force regions in beautiful South Georgia. As we exchange the guide on Lieutenant Colonel Eggers takes command and passes to Brandon, your leadership blessing to take our 336 recruiting squadron to the next level of a world premier recruiting squadron. Guide us under Lieutenant Colonel Eggers' command to employ every ounce of leadership, followership, ingenuity, and passion to prevail as joint warfighters, defeating the enemy and defending our great nation. It's in your matchless name we ask and pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Thompson. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 369th Recruiting Group, Colonel T.M. Henderson.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to say a warm welcome to Dr. Lucy Green. It is always a pleasure to be in your presence. We go back. Dr. Lucy Green is one of the people that raised me when I was a young lieutenant here at Moody, and then poured more into me when I came back later as an FSS commander. So it's a pleasure to see you again and to be in your company. I'd also like to welcome all of the commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, community leaders, family, friends, and honored guests joining us here in person and in the virtual space. Being at Moody always feels like being at home. This is where I met my husband over 21 years ago, and where I served as a lieutenant and as a squadron commander. So it's always nice to be back, and certainly back to be in the presence of our 336 recruiting squadron family. I'd like to take a moment just to thank all the people for putting this event together, specifically Captain Albert, Sergeant Daniel for narrating, Chaplain Thompson for those wonderful words this morning, and to our honor guard who looked great this morning. It always takes a lot of behind-the-scenes work to make events like this happen, and to honor the two men that we honor today and their families. So I thank you all for those efforts in putting that together. But speaking of family, I want to take a moment and welcome Lieutenant Colonel John and his family, his wife Bonnie. The girls aren't with us today, but I know their energy and spirit are with us, and we're just, it's been a pleasure to have you all as a part of this command team. You know, when we serve, the whole family serves, the whole family sacrifices, and that includes, you know, the moves across country, or just having to be patient while conducting Zoom meetings at home, right? All of those things are a part of what we do, and so we're just thankful for this amazing command team and all of they've brought to bear for this community and this family. And I'd also like to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Aaron Eggers to us, and he's going to be joining the family here shortly as we pass the guide on. Welcome to his wife Becky, to the kids, Kanan, Matthew, Grace Ann, and Joseph. It's a pleasure to have you all with us today, as well as Jamie and David, my friend, who are here in person with us, and Jeanette Eggers, they're on the line. So hello for those folks in Zoom lands. So it's great when we have just an amazing family support. We don't do this alone, right? It takes that village, whether it's our immediate family, our extended family, or our Air Force family that pours into us and allows us to continue to serve in the capacities that we do. So I'm thankful to that team of folks and to all of you that are here supporting your loved ones, both here and in the virtual space. So, John, we're going to take a minute and talk about you. This is always the hard part for me is, when you work with someone over several years and you have to see them go, you never know on to bigger and better things, right? But it's hard to say those goodbyes. So we're not going to say goodbye. I'm just going to say see you later because I'm going to be visiting you here soon. But Colonel Eck has just led this squadron with heart and a phenomenal balance of understanding his people as well as the mission, keeping those focuses in balance. He cares so deeply about this team and has built a family here in the 336 Recruiting Squadron. This is an amazing powerhouse squadron, and it's truly one that we at the leadership levels watch in the AFRS, Air Force Recruiting Service. It's kind of the litmus test of how the organization is doing. So if you guys aren't doing well, you know, uh-oh, trouble. The enterprise is going to not be doing well. When you guys are doing well, you know, all right, things are going to be okay. And I have to tell you, you guys have done more than just all right. You guys have knocked it out of the park over these last 2 years. And it hasn't been just the small stuff, right? We've had some amazing things happening within the organization and some amazing challenges, like hurricanes, right? It's been the most active Atlantic hurricane season on record in our nation's history. We had over 11 landfall Category 4 or higher hurricanes hit this region. And that meant that, you know, it's not just here on the base, but we've got folks dispersed out all over that we have to care for and evacuate and ensure that they're doing well. And John led that just amazingly. And oh, by the way, there was that thing called COVID that we're still sort of managing through, right? The global pandemic. Who could have planned for that, right? No one saw that one coming, and here we go. And so all of those challenges, but we still managed to continue doing great things. And you forged just one of the best total force relationships I've seen across the commands, really reaching out to the Guard and Reserve partners to ensure that we could truly recruit as a total force. But it wasn't just words, it was relationships. It was meeting with our total force partners and ensuring that we have those connections so that as we bring people in, we're putting that right person in the right place at the right time that suits where they are in their time and space in their life. And so all of that culminated in this squadron being the FY19 top enlisted session squadron and then the FY20 top squadron overall. I say y'all give yourself a round of applause. And the thing is that one thing I know about John is he's going to say that wasn't him. He's going to point right back over here and say that was all of you, and make sure that every time he talks about the phenomenal work that you've done, he points the credit back to the work that every person in this room is doing. And so you've got to just be proud of that, and well done. So as you head off to Colorado Springs, and get ready to join the ranks of fellow Guardians in our Space Force, which we're excited that you get to be on the ground floor of that. We wish you and Bonnie and Natalie and Riley just continued success as you head off into the future. Know that you're always going to be a part of this recruiting family, and that we know that there's just bigger and better things, right? So well done, and congratulations on a successful command tour. And so I had an opportunity last night to sit down with Aaron, and he was just burning with excitement and ready to join this team and join this family. And so I want to welcome you, Aaron, to the 369 Recruiting Group Trailblazer family. Aaron comes to us as a career intelligence officer, joining us from his tour as the Deputy Division Chief in the J2 Directorate of U.S. AFRICOM in Germany. So while he and the family might still be getting over a bit of jet lag, I'm not going to lie, right? Coming from Germany is not an easy one. They are primed and excited and ready to join this team and ready to lead this squadron to the next level. Lieutenant Colonel Eggers has an impressive career of service to our nation and the intelligence community at all levels. He started out his career enlisted as a Korean cryptological linguist and has served as a director of operations for the 43rd Intelligence Squadron at Cannon Air Force Base in New Mexico. But now he gets to switch gears and join our recruiting family and be part of the recruiting squadron commander and add that to the mix. He is a deployed warrior with 3 short tour assignments to Korea and numerous operational deployments supporting 4 different named campaigns over the last 25 years. He's earned the Bronze Star Medal, recognized as U.S. AFRICOM's Air Force Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Field Grade Officer of the Year in 2018, and is no stranger to leading winning teams, having led PACAF's Command Post of the Year and PACAF's ISR Flight of the Year. We know that you are going to continue to lead this winning team to even greater success and greater heights. And just build upon the legacy of success that's been established here for you. So welcome again, and we're just glad to have you and your families as part of this team, so welcome. Leaders, we are commanding in turbulent and challenging times for our world, our nation, our Air Force, and our Space Force. Over the past year, we've seen our nation grapple with racial injustice and civil rights protests, all in the midst of a global pandemic. We've seen the rise of our near-peer competitors testing missiles and pushing the boundaries of our response. We are charged to build and create the force that will be ready to meet the challenges of 2030 and beyond. Our efforts will fuel the force that tackles great power competition around the globe. So we, as a recruiting force, must be ready to meet our nation's call. That means all hands on deck. So whether you're a computer support technician bringing to bear the latest technology to enable operations in the virtual space, or you're a military entrance caution station liaison ensuring applicants are ready to go, or a flight administrator taking on the roles of absent teammates and ensuring the inner workings of the flight run and go smoothly. No matter your job, no matter whether you're a tier 1 recruiter or a tier 2 recruiter, no matter your rank, no matter your station, or your time in recruiting, whether it's year 3 or day 1, you are valuable to the mission at hand. Our Chief of Staff, General Brown, has challenged us to accelerate change or lose in his action orders to us. Action Order A for Airmen, meaning officers, enlisted, and civilians, emphasizes the Air Force's mission to recruit, assess, educate, train, and develop airmen with the attributes to compete, deter, and win in the high-end fight. That all starts with us, by providing the quality of service and quality of life that our airmen and applicants deserve. General Brown believes that success is a natural byproduct if we always put forth our best effort and ensure the details have been addressed. As we continue to balance taking risks for taking care of our force and family with furthering our total force mission, General Brown asks that we work hard, work smart, and maintain a sustainable pace for the force. This will be vital as we continue to exercise smart operations through the COVID environment and focus on inspiring, engaging, and recruiting the next generation of our airmen and guardians that models our nation's unique diversity. So Aaron, as you take command, a little bit of commander's intent. I encourage you to lead boldly, but with empathy and compassion. Seek first to listen, learn, and understand your airmen by focusing on people. Empower and take care of your airmen and their families. Embrace our total force recruiting mission and develop your airmen with the appropriate education, training, and professional development while finding new ways to innovate and achieve mission success. We have amazing airmen. I can't wait to see what your team will accomplish next. Lieutenant Colonel Eggers, congratulations on command and welcome. Congratulations, Lieutenant Colonel Eck, on a successful command tour, and good luck to you in the next chapter. I'd like to leave you all with just one final quote, and it's from Douglas MacArthur. He says, "A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent." Words to live by, gentlemen. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal awarded to Lieutenant Colonel John Eck.
Publish the orders.
Attention to orders. Lieutenant Colonel John F. Eck Jr. distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander of 336 Recruiting Squadron, Moody Air Force Base, Georgia. During this period, Colonel Eck led recruiting operations across the Air Force's largest enlisted accessions recruiting squadron, covering over 86,000 square miles and 45 geographically separated locations. Additionally, his leadership sparked the squadron to set the Air Force recruiting service record for the most new enlistment contracts in 1 month, as well as leading all of Air Force recruiting service by contracting 3,490 civilians into the United States Air Force and shipping over 3,562 to basic military training during fiscal years 2019 and 2020. Furthermore, Colonel Eck pioneered a critical National Guard pilot program, integrating recruiting activities and facilities across a total force, referring over 526 potential airmen in 2020. Finally, his experience was fundamental in ensuring the unit remained focused on Air Force needs, which earned the unit its 4th straight Air Force Recruiting Service Standard of Excellence Award in 2020, and being named the Air Force Recruiting Service 2019 Top Enlisted Accession Squadron and 2020 Top Overall Squadron. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Eck reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Commander, 336 Recruiting Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Eck.
Dr. Lucy, welcome. I'm glad I don't have to do this over Zoom, seeing you on Will Square. Mr. and Mrs. Lampron, thank you for traveling and joining us today. I know Aaron's very proud. And the rest of the Eggers family who are joining us virtually, thank you. Becky, the whole family, I pray we've never forget this day. I know I didn't, so I hope you really enjoyed it. Colonel Henderson, Chief Cone, thank you for coming from San Antonio. I am really glad we didn't do this one virtually. And to the men of 1036, thank you. I guess this is the last time I get to address all of you. So, man, we talked about all the things we've done over the last 2 years, and I know this is the last thing I do while I'm in command. So, the longer it takes me, the longer I get to stay the privilege of being in command. So, I'm going to take a page from our elected leaders, and for the next 24 hours, I'm going to filibuster the change of command. And I'm going to read about each and every one of the 3,178 airmen we've enlisted into the Air Force since I took command, starting with the A's. Airmen, no, can't blame you for trying. Seriously, I'd like to take a few minutes and just do a few thank yous and discuss what a blessing it has been over the past 2 years. To my leadership team, thank you. Thank you for helping me, and more importantly, inspiring me to lead this great squadron. We've had some challenges, but together we tackled each one, so thank you. To the 3-6, thank you for showing me what it truly means to inspire and engage our youth to join our air and our space force. Thank you for your dedication and your devotion to making our country stronger each and every day, and for demonstrating the Hawks are the premier recruiting squad. 2 years ago, on this stage, I challenge you to take your amazing contributions over the past few years and take it one step further. I challenge you to endeavor to improve, to leave the squadron better than you found it. I can honestly say you did it. But you did it and more. Whenever you faced adversity, you did not only overcome it, but you brought your fellow recruiters, your sister flights, and other squadrons up and along with you. You have dealt with things big and small, some happy, some sad. You've dealt with a hurricane and evacuations, civil unrest, and not to be an underestimated national pandemic, global pandemic, small things. Some of you have lost family members. Others have celebrated new births. Some of you have worked multiple jobs at one time: a recruiter, a daycare worker, a teacher. Some of you cherished working from home. Some of you couldn't wait to get back to the office and get back together like we are today. You've had ups and downs, highs and lows, and no matter what, we did it together. It truly has been an honor and a privilege to be in command of 3-6. I cannot think of any assignment over the past 20 years that has been more rewarding, and I believe this is the pinnacle of my career. You've heard me say it before, and I'm going to say it again. Shortly after taking command, I felt like this was part of my family. And I'm not talking about the estranged cousins that do things and you deny them around in public. I'm talking about the ones you are personally vested in. While you've had your highs and lows, I've had them with you. Sometimes in public, most of the time in private. You all are part of my family. And today is one of the most difficult days, not because I'm giving up command, because I'm being asked to voluntarily leave my family. And while I cannot say it's all that voluntary, I take comfort in knowing that Colonel Eggers is excited and ready to take me further. He will carry the flag. He has been in your shoes. He originally enlisted in the Air Force at 19 years old before eventually commissioning and becoming an officer. He knows the challenges you face day to day, and I have no doubt that he will take care of you and lead this squadron to even greater heights. To Aaron, Becky, and the whole family, congratulations. Command is truly a breathtaking privilege. And I pray you have as much fun as Bonnie and the girls and I have. The squadron is rolling. We've met mission for the 3rd quarter, and today we project to have met mission for the 4th quarter. So take your time, get to know the people, and I wish you the best of luck. Lastly, I want to say thank you to Bonnie. She's had to deal with the TUIs and the occasional late nights, but more so with me being distracted while taking care of a variety of issues. And this is while she was working, going to grad school, and taking care of the girls. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. I will miss the squadron. I will miss all of you. But I will not say goodbye. I don't believe in goodbye, so I'll say see you later. And if you're Colorado Springs, I'm about a mile away from 367. And with that, ma'am, I yield the remainder of my time. Thank you.
Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force Headquarters according to Special Order Number AO 052595, dated 23 February 2021. Lieutenant Colonel John Eck relinquishes command of the 336 Recruiting Squadron, and Lieutenant Colonel Aaron Eggers assumes command, effective 16 June 2021, by order of Colonel Tia Henderson, Commander, 369th Recruiting Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Would Senior Master Sergeant Luke Howe please come to the stage to present the recruiting badge? The Commander of 336 Recruiting Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Aaron Eggers.
Colonel Henderson, Dr. Lucy, all leaders, friends, and family joining us on Zoom, especially all members of the 336 Recruiting Squadron. Thank you for making this such a memorable occasion for Becky, the kiddos, and me. Mom and David, thank you for traveling here to join us in person. Dad and Jeanette, thank you for dialing in. Becky, Kanan, Maddie, Gracie, and Joe. The past several weeks have been stressful and tumultuous. This is what it was all for. Now my marathon starts, and I'm blessed to have you at my side, supporting me through it. Colonel Henderson, thank you for your trust and confidence in providing me this opportunity to serve with you and the other airmen and guardians of the 369. Taking command of the 36 today is a true honor and the pinnacle of my Air Force life. I say life because the Air Force has always been there in my life. I'm a third-generation airman, going back to the Air Force, but a fond farewell to the Army. I was born at Luke Air Force Base while my father was stationed there, and I was an Air Force brat until I raised my hand about 25 and a half years ago. I'm sure all airmen remember their recruiter. In February 1996, I was a 19-year-old who knew everything. Then I walked into Tech Sergeant Lucy's recruiting school station just off the Las Vegas Strip. A month later, I entered the delayed enlistment program as a cryptological enlist recruit. With my future set, I married my beautiful bride in April. I invited Sergeant Cotton to my wedding. Damned if he didn't successfully recruit one of my good friends at the wedding. I'm sure many of you possess that same type of charisma to pull that off. In the 25 years since, the Air Force has given me great opportunities and patriotic service to my country. Most importantly, are the people with whom I've had the pleasure of serving. I've learned a lot of lessons from them, mostly good. To the mentors and leaders I've served, many of whom are dialed in today, I can't thank you enough for looking out for me and ensuring I always did my best to serve our airmen and accomplishing the mission. Another gift of being an airman is the strong bonds and lifelong friendships you gain. Again, many of you are also watching today. Thank you for your constant support over the years. I greatly appreciate the support of all my friends, family, and associates. You made me the airman I am and enabled me to humbly be here today. I know you've given me the tools. Now it's time for me to apply them in leading the airmen and guardians of the 336 as they traverse the 86,000 square miles over 4 states and nearly 50 operating locations in recruiting the next generation in uniform. Colonel Eck, you successfully led the Hawks through the most trying non-combat event the Air Force has ever encountered. The innovations you conceived in ensuring zero loss in sessions during the pandemic were exemplary to the rest of the Air Force recruiting service. Thank you for your in-depth handover and your strong leadership. The Hawks are flying over to me with outstanding successes. My promise to you is that I will continue to help them soar. Best wishes to you, Bonnie, and the girls as you trailblaze the new frontier in Colorado and the rest of your Space Force career. To the Airmen and Guardians of the 3-6, I greatly appreciate the efforts in making today's ceremony a success. You will quickly learn that I trust you to do your jobs to the best of your ability. You are the pros from Dover. You know how to find the best recruits for our Air Force and Space Force. I empower you to continue to innovate and bring us great recruits to send off to basic and become successful airmen and guardians. As you accomplish this, remember to keep tabs on number 1, yourself and your family. I'm truly humbled and beyond excited to work alongside you as your commander and look forward with much anticipation to the great things we will accomplish together as we continue and improve upon the strong reputation of the 336. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party and our distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending. This concludes today's ceremony.
We gotta put up all these chairs.